Welcome to the HyperFast Agent Growth Show. Get real strategies, real results, and real estate them differently. Lead generation, team building, AI, and more from billion-dollar agents, best-selling authors, international speakers, and real estate coaches, Kerry Shull and Lesniak. Let's dive in!
What's up? Welcome to the HyperFast Agent Growth Show. I'm here today with our panel for some of the latest news, strategies, things that we are doing in our business. We've got Karl Svendson, amazing lender, real estate and lender coach as well. Bridge loan expert. All right. Nobody's doing bridge loans like Karl is to help your buyers that have a house to sell buy non-contingent before they sell their home. So just wanted to plug that real quick for Karl. And James Buckley is here with us today, closing in on Icon Agent as well. So big milestone coming up for him. Nick Bush, unfortunately, is out showing houses, probably about to write another big deal. He might join us. We'll see if he pops in. Anyway, guys, welcome to the show. Plenty to talk about. It's been a while since we've done one of these. First, I want to start off with AI. AI is becoming more and more prevalent in the real estate business, taking over like so much of what we need to do as real estate agents, and it's a huge opportunity for those that embrace it. And you know, I think part of the challenge with it is that, like, A, it changes so fast, and B, you go to events or hear someone talk about it, and they're like, yeah, you got to use AI, or you know, AI. The classic one, right? AI won't replace agents, but agents who use AI will replace agents that don't. But then a lot of times there's a gap, right? Because you get that message, hear that, and then it's like, okay, now what do I do? So on this show, we are going to be very tactical. So first question for the panel: what is the top AI tool you are using right now in your real estate business? Start with you.
So I started using Claude.
James, sorry. You're starting to use Claude?
Yeah, I started using Claude. I'll ask it to do CMAs for me. Obviously, you got to check it, you got to adjust it. But it gets me 80% of the way there. And then I fact check it. I say, well, what about this? What about distance? And it saves me hours, just hours. And I hook it into my Google Drive. I hook it into Google Calendar, hook it into Gmail. And Claude Cowork has done more for me than any other AI has done. I really like Gemini as well. I've got a listing right now, and it's it's in rough shape. There's stuff everywhere. It's still coming soon. They're still preparing it. But what I was able to do is I snapped photos of every room from different angles. I asked AI to declutter, to stage it, to give different paint color options, and then I turned it all into videos of each of those rooms. And I was really impressed with that, all with Gemini.
Wow. So Gemini and Claude, make sure you're on that, because you know, I think up until a few months ago, most people were still talking OpenAI, ChatGPT, and you know, for whatever reason, I've heard some say it's because OpenAI focused on Sora, they focused on a web browser, and they just got passed by Claude, and the difference is pretty big. Question on that for you, James. Did you transfer your Chat GPT memory over to Claude?
I don't think so, but I should.
Okay. Yeah, look into that. There's a process to do it. I've seen
Yeah, I remember.
different things on that. So look into transferring the memory, right? Because you have a history with it. It knows how you talk, what you
That's a
like,
great idea.
about your business. So, Karl, what about you?
The one that I use the most is actually Guild IQ, which is our mortgage company's in-house AI software that they developed. So I know other people that are listening to the show aren't going to have access to that. Um, but I think it's important that you partner yourself with an organization that is getting behind developing AI that's going to assist its people. The benefit for me on that is that, instead of me having to remember all these guidelines and have instant answers for my agent partners off the top of my head, while I'm on a phone call, I can just easily ask it a simple question. It'll immediately spit out all the guidelines and all the information that I need. So that way, the person on the other end of the phone thinks that I know all that stuff immediately. It's pretty cool. But my favorite one that I use that anyone will be able to use is Sora. When you sent me an invite to that, I thought that was pretty incredible. I need to use it more, but I mean, it's just so convenient being able to put an idea together and have it just spit it out, and you don't have to shoot any video. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys both describe platforms that really help you assemble and disseminate information like these CMAs or mortgage quotes, right? Probably used to take you like a lot longer to do. Now you're shortening that work, right? Which that work has to get done. You can't close deals without it. Um, but now that that's being shortened, if you're using these tools, you're gonna have more time to prospect, lead generate, get face to face, voice to voice, belly to belly, and get in front of more people and get more deals done. So, and then marketing, you guys both touched on some marketing tools, Gemini, um, Sora, right? That's going to reduce the time you have to spend to making content, making presentations, making stuff for your listings. So, these things all reduce your time. The one that I'm most excited about is we just got off a meeting with it. We're implementing an agentics, and we're working with another company, super super cheap to get it set up. But agentics is starting to catch a lot of attention and use, and I've seen different use cases from people like Pace Morby, and basically this agentics is going to be like a high level PhD like COO, and it is going to plug into many different LLMs, many different AI tools, and Carrie and I are going to be able to talk to it through WhatsApp or Telegram or maybe even text message, and tell it something that needs to get done, or like, hey, I'm going to do a listing at 123 Main Street, prepare everything I need for it. And then now it's going to go use the AI tools and do the marketing and pull the CMA, pull the contracts, it can get in my email. It can respond to things. It can prospect. So it's like having this high level COO that has all these built-in tools. Like it's like kind of like it's running a team, like it's a small army of people helping. And so I'm excited to implement that.
It's called
And
Agentics.
yeah,
Hmm.
but we are I'll just talk about this event coming up soon, May 6th and 7th. We're putting on the HyperFast Agent Summit. One of the things we'll be presenting there is agentic. So this real estate event is going to have some of the latest and greatest presentations from people that are selling a lot of homes, doing a lot of loans, coaching big real estate teams, and we are going to teach tactical things to real estate agents. We've got an amazing speaker coming, John Cheplack. He's one of the, you know, top rated real estate coaches, built multiple 9-figure business. He's never done an event in the DMV, so this is his first time doing an event in the DC area. So that's May 6th and 7th. Have a dozen other, more than a dozen other like amazing speakers. If you get the VIP experience, you get the private lunch with speakers and John Cheplack and the mastermind and a whole bunch of other stuff. So we will put a link to that in the show notes and on YouTube. And by the way, just as a mention here, in our EXP Realty group, our agents are attending this like virtually for free. I mean, there's a nominal fee, but it's one of the many benefits that we give our real estate agents at EXP, in addition to all the EXP benefits. So when you partner with myself, when you partner with James Buckley or Nick Bush, who's not on the show, they're all in our group at EXP. So you get tons of benefits, like over $40,000 of coaching and programs and other things. So, if you ever want to chat with us about that, again, we'll have numbers in the show notes, in the YouTube descriptions, wherever there's info. So check out the summit. Check out what our group has to offer at EXP Realty. And we'd be honored to partner with you. And you can talk to me, James, Nick, maybe Karl if he gets his real estate license someday. We'd be honored to have that conversation. So, all right, let's move on. Next topic here. This article came out on Redfin. There's a record 630,000 more home sellers than buyers. That is the biggest gap on record, according to Redfin. What's your guys' reaction to that?
So it's more home buyers than sellers, or more sellers than
Oh,
buyers?
more. Did I say home buyers? There's more sellers than buyers. So 630,000 more sellers than buyers.
My biggest reaction is that that's a national number, and depending on like literally what neighborhood you're in, it can be very much a seller's market, or it can be very, very much a buyer's market. And those stats differ. But I think, when you're looking at trends, I think it says a lot comparing where we were a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I think it's clickbait. I mean, they've done the same thing how many times over the last year? I mean, it's effective because it does get people to click on the article, or at least read the headline and have people talk about it. That's the whole point of media. Media is to get attention. So it's an attention-driven, headline. But like James said, I mean, it's completely based on locality. And I
Yeah,
work in multiple markets, and
they
I
actually
see some
list
markets vary
they
significantly.
list the differences. Like some markets are balanced, like San Francisco is a balanced market right now. Maybe they took their extra inventory early or something. There's so yeah, New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, that's a seller's market for so according to their data, right? Like Washington D.C., where we are, buyer's market, but not a strong buyer's market. It's like only 18.6% extra inventory, and I think the national average was um more than double that. So it is county by county, street by street, neighborhood by neighborhood for sure. Um, my thinking is it's probably like we're not seeing huge price reductions. Sellers have more equity in their homes than ever before. Not many people are upside down, almost virtually none. Um, so it's a lot different than 2008. It's more of a combination of like less deals and more of a normal market in my mind. I do think there's a hidden opportunity in this, though, in that there are probably going to be more expireds coming this year, right? So, real estate agents, if you're listening to this, don't sleep on expireds. Learn the scripts, get RedX or Mojo or Vulcan 7, and make that a part of your routine. I think there's still a lot of agents that don't know how to keep a good relationship with a seller over 6 months. It's very easy to have a good relationship when there's people lining out the door and you're getting bidding wars and the whole process takes 2 weeks. So I think there's a lot of agents that just don't have the skill set of keeping the relationships long. And there's less agents that know how to hunt them. So I think it's a huge opportunity. So that's one of the tactical tips that I would, want you guys to take away from this show is like start hunting expireds. All right, another headline I thought was pretty interesting. Darian Mensa just used an EXP Realty luxury and sports and entertainment agent, which is a new division that EXP Realty launched late last year, the sports and entertainment division. And so he used the agent to buy a $2.5 million home in Miami. He, of course, he made headlines in January because right at the last minute, he decided to break the commitment he had to Duke for his senior year, went to Miami for a big NIL deal. And, no one really knows how much they paid him. It's rumored to be between 4 to 6 million. And, when the sports and entertainment division rolled out, my initial thought was, man, there's not that many like pro athletes. But But man, there's some people that do kill it with the pro athletes, of course, if you can get into that niche. Um, but I wasn't thinking of like college athletes, right? Because we grew up, I think all of us on the show grew up in an era where if you bought a home in college, like the NCAA would investigate and like take your title away, like they did to Reggie Bush. But now they're like paying you so much, you can buy a house for a place that you're going to play for a year before entering the NFL draft and move, who knows where. Um, so this is like a whole nother pool of potential, you know, clients for agents to like leverage something like the EXP Sports Entertainment Division. Any thoughts, reactions to that, guys?
Sports and entertainment buyers and sellers, they're very active, right? You're in a new place. Maybe you're there for a year, maybe you're there for 10 years and you don't really know. And you want to buy because it gives you more stability and you take advantage of all the benefits of real estate. So great opportunity there. And then the college athletes, it's a great point. Um, and I think college athletes too, they want to be part of the party, right? Just like the pro level. They want to buy, they want to own real estate, and they want to get in early.
It makes me think if I was a real estate agent and I want to get into higher priced homes, I think all you have to do is reach out and to different universities and try to get in front of the decision makers in the athletics department and see if you can set something up to be their go-to person. Or at least if you get in front of a decision maker, then that's an opportunity for you to be able to build a relationship there and potentially be the person that they're going to think of when they have these new athletes that are coming into town.
Well, and, there's a lot of ways to do that. They all have booster clubs. They all have like events for public facing events. So, if you go there, you'll meet it's not just like about meeting the head coach, it's the GM and the assistant GMs and the staff that work for them, right? Build relationships with them. And that's exactly what Ed Kaminsky did in many different markets. He spoke at a recent EXP regional rally, and James and I got to meet him. And, so he broke into, I forget the first one he did. It was probably in California because that's where he's based, but now he's doing deals for high level people for the Baltimore Ravens, right? Because it's like he learned the process there, and it's kind of like calling expireds. Like that's a skill set you can take anywhere, and now you have the opportunity to do that in colleges, right? So if there's a good college program in your area, like, or you want to do business with the school you went to, and you just get active in the alumni associations, booster clubs, and yeah, get in front of the decision makers. Have you done any loans for athletes, Karl?
One NFL player. It
Yeah.
was the most epic loan I've ever done.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some interesting things there. I'm curious how like an NIL deal would be treated, like, because like Darian Mince's case, he has a 1 year deal with Miami, and then he has to get drafted and go to the pros, right? So he'll get another contract. If he gets hurt, that's not good, but usually someone at his level probably has insurance, in case there's like a career-ending injury. So how would the income be treated like in a situation like that?
Well, I mean, we probably look for alternative portfolio loans that's based on the
Yeah.
assets, right? That's really how most of those are probably going to be done. It's circumstantial, right? But again, all these people have family. Like, I have one family that I've done a few loans for that their son is well-known professional NBA player, and he's been giving mama some money for a long time now. But just
Was
like
that
you
my
brought
deal
up,
or
like,
someone else's?
what's that?
Was that my deal or someone else's?
Someone else, yeah, no. But what's funny is like they wouldn't let us consider the money that her son was giving to her. The underwriter's answer was, "Hey, we allow spousal support, not mom support."
Mm.
But there were other ways to do the deal.
Yeah, so you guys are creative and solution focused, which is amazing. All right, before we wrap up, interest rates, started the year was like a mini refinance boom, then missiles to Iran and that mini refi boom kind of evaporated pretty quickly, very short-lived. What's going on with interest rates and what can we expect if there's any way to expect anything the rest of the year?
Unpredictable with Trump's administration, right? It's all going to be day to day. Over the last couple of weeks, it's all been volatile based on what the headlines are, right? But the main takeaway I think that I've been sharing with a lot of folks is you can't time the market on the purchase, but you can time the market on the refinance. We've had multiple opportunities over the last 3, 4 years for people that have purchased to be able to lock in a significantly lower rate that was only available for a couple days or a week. So it's very important to be working with the right partner and being able to time things well on the refinance, and don't really get caught up on, what it is right now on the purchase. As long as you can afford the monthly payment, you're going to be able to secure better terms. When one of those small windows of opportunity presents itself, as long as you're ready to strike, the people that were not ready to strike are the people that missed the boat.
And Karl,
Yeah,
you guys have a free refinance, right? So someone can buy now, buy the home that they love, maybe even take advantage of the current market with high interest rates, which have an impact on price, right? Buy the house they love now and then do a free refinance with you when that golden opportunity comes up, right?
That's exactly right. Because I'm not in it to make money on the refinance. 95% of my business is purchase. So I just want to take care of those folks on the back end to continue to have raving fans and get referrals from our people.
well, the reality is if you're waiting for the rates to drop, like any purchase advantage you gain from that will be evaporated by the price increase. And most likely you're just going to be going through many, many years of steady, increases. All factors kind of point to that over, like, if you looked at a 10-year period. So I think if you need a home to live, which everyone needs a home to live, right? You're basically have a short position in your cost of living. The way to counterbalance that is get a long position, right? Buy a home. And yeah, so I think waiting is dangerous for most people. Buy the house that fits your needs now, that has a safe, maybe creative financial solution. So, yeah, just remember that when you're talking to your buyers, move up buyers, like, your job is to like point that out to them, right? Have confidence, have certainty, and transfer that to them so that they can make a decision that is in their best interest. Before we wrap up, just want to mention the HyperFast Agent Summit again, May 6th and 7th. John Cheplack, Carrie Scholl, myself, James actually, and Nick will be there as well, Karl. So we want to see you guys there. So if you if you can get to the Washington, D.C. area, May 6th and 7th, that's the event to get to. We'll have a link in the show notes and on YouTube for you to check it out and get your ticket before they're gone. So thank you everyone for joining us today. As always, if you enjoyed the show and got value out of it and think that we earned a 5-star review, please do that on iTunes, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, subscribe, and share it with other people so we can make an impact on more real estate agents and maybe more lenders too. So thank you everyone for joining us today. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to HyperFast Agent Growth Show with Karl and Lesniak. Real strategies, real results, real estate done differently. If you love this episode, tap subscribe and share it with another agent who's ready to grow.